Welcome to Warhammer 40k lore in the Bible, where I pull from Warhammer 40k lore to help explain biblical lore. And today we're going to be going over the Daemonettes of Slaanesh. But before we get into the video, take the wikis with a grain of salt. Also, I do a regular biblical video on Mondays, and every Thursday is the Warhammer 40k lore in the Bible series with other Warhammer 40k content. I do a Warhammer 40k bolt gun comedy skit thing within the game, so if you want to check that out as well. And I was against saying like and subscribe and all that, but a commenter made a really good point on Monday's video, saying, it's like that you're not begging us, it's we forget. She said, there's a lot of us who we like the video, it's just we forget to like the video. So I will say it like this to make, I guess, me happy or whatever. So I don't feel like I'm trying to beg you guys. But if I've earned a like and subscription from you guys, please consider doing so. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. A Daemonette, also known as a Maiden of Ecstasy, is a lesser demon of Slaanesh, the Prince of Pleasure and Chaos God of amoral pleasure, also known as Bringers of Joyous Degradation, Harbingers of Endless Delights, the Children of Slaanesh, and Seekers of Decadence. Daemonettes are also all these things and more. Their physical appearance is confounding, at once impossibly twisted and shamefully intriguing. The hermaphroditic form of a Daemonette is both repulsive and nearly impossible for a mortal to turn away from. I don't know about that one. I'd be heading the opposite way, but that's just me, I guess. In battle, Daemonettes are lithe, dexterous killers, whose claws can tear through opponents to shreds, or allure their mortal victims into their clutches. When mounted upon a disturbingly graceful demonic mount known as Steed of Slaanesh, that's going to be a good video to do in the future. Anyways, I digress. A Daemonette is called a Seeker of Slaanesh, who form the vanguard of the Dark Prince's demonic legions. These lithe, sensual beasts are swift and powerful, and track mortals by tasting their desires on the air. Yikes. Daemonettes can gift their victims with a mixture of excruciating, painful caress and the most delicate and tender of killing strokes. Even in the most gruesome of conflicts, the Daemonettes smile in secret ecstasy as they go about their deadly work, delighting in the waves of emotion, pleasurable or painful, emanating from their enemies. Sometimes Slaanesh is more delicate in his machinations, seeking to undermine the will of his foes, tempting them from their chosen path, and removing their opposition to his cause. Slaanesh will also dispatch Daemonettes to corrupt those he wishes to enslave. Using their seductive spells, the Daemonettes whisper into the dreams and nightmares of their victims, filling their darkest desires with promise of glory and fulfillment. The warriors of the Chaos Space Marines are especially susceptible to this. Many a would-be conqueror has summoned a host of Slaanesh's handmaidens in the mistaken belief that they will clinch a lasting victory, only to find it is he who is the pawn, and that his actions have a terrible cost. Ain't that the truth? Welcome to repercussions of your actions. Okay, history. Daemonettes are the most numerous of Slaanesh's servants. They serve as courtiers and courtesans in his palace of pleasure in the realm of chaos. Created to fulfill Slaanesh's every passing whim, they fill Slaanesh's throne room, lounging upon silken cushions, gossiping endlessly as they scheme to earn greater favor from their willful and fickle master. The Daemonettes are also Slaanesh's warriors and messengers beyond his realm. Slaanesh is given to extreme changes of mood, and when frustrated, he lashes out with his vast demonic legions, the legions of excess, sending his Daemonettes to tear down everything he finds repugnant, unsubtle, and crude, and replace them with artistic vistas of destruction. In battle, Daemonettes can be seen dancing across blood-soaked ground, dead bodies forming a carpet beneath their clawed feet. Their honeyed voices are raised in joyous songs of praises to Slaanesh, as they slay and maim in the name of agony and pleasure. As children of Slaanesh's degenerate dreams, Daemonettes bring all he has to offer to the fore. Not all mortals yield to the temptations of the pleasures of the flesh. Some have deeper desires that are only discovered through more deliberate probing of their wills. All Daemonettes are inherent experts in peeling away the defensive walls that shield the desires of men and women, as well as other, more alien beings, from discovery. If a mortal seeks adoration, these demons know the words of seductive guile to speak into his ears to cause him to lower his guard. If that man wants nothing more than to be recognized above his peers, the child of malice knows how to sweetly praise him for his achievements. There is no buried dream, no subdued ambition that a demonette can or cannot uncover and exploit. When it does, the focus of its attention is surely doomed to feel the tender caress of a honeyed lips and razored claws. Yikes. The Daemonettes are Slaanesh's warriors and messengers beyond the realm, and packs of such demons under the command of one of the number known as Allures. Allures. Sorry, my bad. Serve as a core for many of the demonic legions of excess. Slaanesh is given to extreme changes of mood, and when frustrated, he lashes out with his legions, sending his Daemonettes to tear down everything he finds repugnant. Unsubtle, and we just read that. So a lot of the information that was left was pretty much saying the same stuff. So we're going to move on to the biblical side of things here. Now, every time I bring up the Book of Enoch with the Warhammer stuff, I get called a heretic and that the Book of Enoch is heretical and stuff like that. So now we have fragments, but a lot of it agrees with the Bible. I'll just say that. But here's Jude 1:14 giving a nod to Adam and pulls straight from the Book of Enoch. Okay. So verse 14 and 15. And we'll just read 14, but you could read 15. But anyways, and Enoch, also the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000 of his saints, to execute judgment upon all. And this whole stuff, these few verses right here, pulls straight from the Book of Enoch. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about the sirens. So, anyways, first book of Enoch, chapter 19. And Uriel said to me, Here shall stand the angels who have connected themselves with women. Pay attention to this part here, okay? And their spirits assuming many different forms. They can transform themselves, right? It says, Satan could transform himself into an angel of light. So they can transform, shapeshift, I guess you can say. Okay, are defiling mankind and shall lead them astray into sacrificing to demons as gods. Here shall they stand, till the day of the great judgment, in which they shall be judged, till they are made an end of. And the women also of the angels who went astray shall become sirens. Okay. Now, what are sirens? In Greek mythology, sirens are human-like beings with alluring voices. They appear in a scene in the Odyssey in which the Odysseus saves his crew's lives. Roman poets placed them on some small island called Sirenum Scopuli, and some later recognized or rationalized traditions. The literal geography of the flowery island of Anthemosia and Anthemusa. Pay attention to that island part right here. people who have been subscribed probably know where I'm going with this, because I brought up this character with Slaanesh, which it worked out perfectly with these guys. But anyways, and fix sometimes Cape Pelorum and other islands known as the Cyrenus, or Cyrenuse, or something, near Paestum and Capre, or Caprea, something like that. I'm not even going to try. All such locations were surrounded by cliffs and rocks. So you guys get the point. All right. Where am I going with this? Let me bring this one up first, actually. So, this is Isaiah 34:14. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl, right here. So what does screech owl mean? Right here. It is the word Lilith, a night specter. Screech owl comes from the word Lael. So it is a female night demon, or a night specter. But you're going to see her bird-like qualities here in a second. So, and on the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow, the screech owl also shall rest there, and find herself a place of rest. There shall the great owl make her nest, lay and hatch together under her shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with her mate. So this great owl is this girl here. Oops. This is Inanna, if I could show it. So if you look, she's got two owls there. And now look at her feet. Isn't that interesting? She's also got wings. Oh, wait a minute. She's also got an ankh. There's another goddess out there that has wings and stuff like that, but I can't say her name. So the Egyptian one, I'll just say. But anyways, interesting. But we're not done yet. Right here. Zechariah 5:9. I should read actually 7 through 9. And behold, there was lifted up a talent of lead, and this is a woman that sitteth in the midst of the ephah. This woman, in my opinion, is the screech owl here. Yeah. And sitteth in the midst of ephah, or in the ephah. And he said, this is wickedness. And he cast it into the midst of the ephah, and he cast the weight of lead upon the mouth thereof. Then lifted I up my eyes, and looked, and behold, there came out two women, and the wind was in their wings, for they had wings like the wings of a stork, and they lifted up the ephah between the earth and heaven. Interesting. Is it these guys? Right here? Here's a human-looking siren. They're also in mermaid lore too, stuff like that right here. Sirens were later often used as synonym for mermaids and portrayed with upper human bodies and fish tails. So, interesting. So they're becoming these guys, right? And why? You know, why would they do this, right? Right here. First Enoch chapter 7. And all together with them took unto themselves wives, for each they chose one for himself. And they began to go unto them and defile themselves with them. And they taught them charms and enchantments, the cutting of roots, drugs, basically, and became pregnant. And they bare great giants whose height was 3,000 ells. You know, of course, we've read this many times on this channel. You guys know where that's all going. But there's more to it. Chapter 8. And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives, shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth, and the art of working them. Ready? And bracelets, and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones, and all the coloring tinctures. And arose And there arose much godlessness and committed, cheating, would you say? That's what, if you don't know, fornication is basically adultery, coitus, basically. And they were led astray and became corrupt in all their ways. Semyaza taught enchantments and root cuttings, amoros, the resolving of enchantments. You guys get the gist. So they're teaching him all these, quote unquote, ancient knowledge, right? And all the enchantments. They're teaching him the art of war, how to make medals and stuff like that. And with the women, they're getting bracelets, ornaments, use of antimony, makeup, stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying if you wear makeup as a woman, that's a sin. I am not saying that, okay? Just saying that a lot of this stuff came from these guys. But anyways, did I? I think I did. Okay. So we're going to end it right, or not end it, but now we're going to read the physical characteristics of these Daemonettes of Slaanesh. So now we're getting back to Warhammer 40k. The physical appearance of Daemonettes is confounding. At once impossibly twisted and shamefully intriguing, the hermaphroditic form of a Daemonette is both repulsive and nearly impossible for a mortal to turn away from. Their lithe bodies and entreating voices lure wayward souls to lower defenses, and open up to ravenous, violent consumption from the jaws and jagged claws of the ladies of Slaanesh. This base allure is not, however, the only temptation Daemonettes have at their disposal. I hope I'm saying that right. I apologize. Is it allure or allure? I'm guessing allure, but anyways, have their disposal. Daemonettes oftentimes appear vaguely feminine with pale purplish skin. One of their arms will usually mutate at the elbow into a huge crab-like pincer or other natural weapon. Demons of Slaanesh often have extraordinarily long, prehensile tongues and may sport a single or multiple sets of female humanoid breasts, a particular mark of favor of the hermaphroditic prince of pleasure. So if you don't know, the chaos gods don't necessarily have genders, okay? They're just, I guess what you're seeing of them is just an aspect, I guess you can say. But anyways, they're not necessarily gendered or have like a single form or anything like that. Anyways. Where did I? Okay. Daemonette's androgynous charm is heightened by a preemanating sense of beguilement. This is heightened by the strange musk that hangs about them like a cloying perfume. Ugh. I'll keep my mouth shut on that one. Anyways. Yet there is something about admiring their charms that causes self-loathing amongst any who view them. Daemonettes are possessed of a hypnotic glamour, an aura that disguises their true forms, rendering them as alluring visions of perfection. Though their true forms are repulsive and terrifying, this supernatural power makes them appear as the ultimate beauty and object of desire in the eyes of mortals. I don't know about that. Anyways, regardless of their species, gender, or morality, none exposed to these lesser demons of Slaanesh forget the tide of living sensuality. It evokes both loathing and perverse longing that forever gnaws at the minds of those who see them. In several earlier encountered manifestations, Daemonette's features also include white, milky skin, bald heads, female breasts, sometimes several sets. Dang. Going, what is that? Total Recall. Anyways, narrow eyes, pointed teeth, occasionally horns. Their legs end in bird-like 3-talon claws. Interesting. And they may have long, scything limbs in place of one of both arms. They are quick, attractive, and fearsome. More recent encounters between the Imperium and Daemonettes have seen these demons' appearance changed. They now appear more closely to be female, with writhing tentacle-like hair. Rather than the crab-like claws of old, their talons are sickle-shaped, and as a whole, they appear far more attractive and seductive than their previous counterparts. I guess these are the Primaris Marines of Slaanesh, I guess. I'm sorry. Anyways, attractive, seductive than their previous counterparts, so much as that there are tales of soldiers refusing to fight when they catch a glimpse of their alluring beauty. Alright, guys, we're going to go ahead and end it there. I want to thank you guys for all the support. We're almost to 500. We're almost there, guys. And it's all thanks to you guys, and I appreciate it. You know, there ain't much more I could say other than thank you, because I've always wanted to be a YouTuber, and I'm able to live that now, getting closer to. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day.